Patriot Store family. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. An afternoon broadcast. We haven't done that in quite some time, right? So, man, this crazy shit going on with the Somalis and Ilhan Omar today. But we're going to get into that in a moment. We'll digress into that in a moment. First, we're going to talk about how not a lot of people are talking about this until today. We've covered it a couple times throughout the week. But Mexican cartel drones forced temporary closure of El Paso International Airspace. So the FAA had to shut down airspace over El Paso's airport for a few hours because massive presence of cartel drones. Let's take a look at this picture. It actually is pretty weird. I mean, we are officially in the dystopian sci-fi movies where the drones are going to be the ones coming to take us out now. So that's a thing. But it gets dumber and dumber every day, right? Like, we got Ilhan Omar spitting out shit that she knows she's going to get fucking fact-checked on, knowing that she's fucking lying about the Somali culture. And I'm going to show you the fact-check right from UNICEF after we read her 3 statements that she made. Well, I am in Minnesota. Take a look at Minnesota. Yeah, take a look at fucking Minnesota. We need to glass it at this point. So we think at least 19 billion of fraud, medical and every fraud. Somalia has come in here. What they have done to our country, these people. I don't know what this statement is coming from. There's no other statement on top of this. So, wait, something's loading up top. Okay. Ilhan Omar suggests Trump should be executed after he says he will pursue Somali fraud cases in Minnesota. So immediately, right off the bat, where does your brain go when somebody's getting investigated for committing horrible crimes in our country, and their first reaction is, well, if you want to investigate me, you should be executed. You mean like you guys have investigated Trump for the past 10 years and put him through fraudulent cases and charged him with fraudulent charges with no underlying cause? I mean, kind of like that. When you actually we have tons of evidence against you. Okay. But then the kicker is, Minnesota Rep. Ilhan Omar posted on X to suggest that President Donald J. Trump should be executed. She shared a clip of an interview with Trump on Fox News with the caption, "The leader of the pedophile protection party coming from an Islamic Somali." That's like shitting your pants and changing your fucking shirt because, like, well, we'll go through it from UNICEF in just a minute here. But you rape children in Somalia. It's fucking 100% legal under your laws, and you justify it. But we'll go through that in a minute. And also, by the way, Donald Trump is you've seen the new video that came out? That Donald Trump has been an FBI informant this whole time that's in the Epstein files. And he's the one who called the cops on Epstein in 2000 and told the police him and Ghislaine Maxwell were evil piece of shit human beings and they needed to be taken care of. And the cops thanked him because they all knew what was happening. So what I want to know is, these cops have admitted that they've known for years that Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were doing this. What? Why is that not the biggest story on the planet right now? The cop outright admitted in Palm Beach that they knew this was happening the whole time. But until Trump brought it to their attention and said they needed to do something about it, and then informed on them for years for them, did they actually start investigating? That's fucking weird. Why aren't we investigating these cops right now? I hope they are. They could be. I hope they are investigating these cops right now. But that was an interesting testimony in those files yesterday. Minnesota Rep. Ilhan Omar said Donald Trump should be executed. She shared a clip of an interview with Trump on Fox News with the caption, "The leader of the pedophile party is trying to deflect attention from his name being all over the Epstein files." No, he's not. We've already debunked your bullshit. But your people's... Anyway, that doesn't matter. You're going to continue with your bullshit, but we're going to show how much of a cousin fucking, brother fucking, inbred pedophile you are in just a minute here. So, deflect attention from his name being all over the Epstein files. At least in Somalia, wait a minute, wait for it, hold up, something ain't right here. In Somalia, they execute pedophiles, not elect them. Let me repeat that. Ilhan Omar says in an Islamic inbred country that in Somalia, they execute pedophiles, not elect them. So hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me go over here to, I got some stuff from actual UNICEF for you here. I even got it put up in script mode. So, Somalia country belief. In Somalia, the presence of child marriage and FGM, female genital mutilation, is deeply entwined with cultural and religious systematic factors. Now, I want you to keep in mind, we just read that. We got a whole long script we're to go through. Okay, so I wanted to point that out and fact check her right there on that first. Then we're going to look back at this article here. Okay, make this make sense for me. This is a justification from this news. City Journal. Since the news of Minnesota's sprawling Somali-linked fraud case went national, debate over immigrant crime has flared once again. But let's look at what the article is. Yes, Somali immigrants commit more crime than natives. Wait for it. Than native Somalis. Wait for it. So, immigrants' crime has flared once again. President Trump has dispatched federal agents to the Twin Cities to crack down on illegal immigrants, criminal aliens, defined as criminal aliens in the law book, not illegal immigrants. They're not immigrants. They're criminal alien invader terrorists. Okay. But Trump is overreacting. Critics contend. The Somali immigrant population, they claim, does not have particularly high crime rates. Wait for it. Alex Norseth of the Cato Institute sounds pretty fucking communist to me. I don't know. For instance, set off considerable debate on X by posting a chart showing Somali-born immigrants have, if anything, slightly lower incarceration rates. So they're trying to justify that natural-born Somalis don't commit as crime and get incarcerated, like non-natural born, slightly lower crime rates and incarceration rates. But here's the shitty part of it. Keep in mind, the majority of the Somali population is condensed into 3 or 4 specific places in America. So, have anything slightly lower incarceration rates than native-born Americans among those aged 18 to 54, included in 2023 American Community Surveys. 1,170 of each 100,000 people born in Somalia were incarcerated versus 1,221 native born. So your justification that they commit less crime is that every crime cycle, literally 200 less people. There's 1,000 plus, but 200 less people. See how they try to justify this shit? See the fucking retarded term? They put this in retard terms for you. Because retards will see this and say, oh, God, the natural born only commit 1,221 violent crimes and horrible things. But look, that's not much because over here it's 1,170. So literally less than 100, less than 100 people that are American born commit those crimes. Wow. That's just one hell of a justification. The implication is clear. If Somalis are incarcerated at similar or lower rates, concerns about Somali crime must be overblown. It's like 72 less people, man. There's nothing overblown. Yeah, it's overblown by 72 people. 72 people. First of all, if you're from another country and you're coming here, why are you committing crime in our country in the first place, motherfucker? If you're supposed to be birthright citizen here, why are you going around Minnesota meeting with the president of Somalia, calling him your president on American fucking soil? If you love America so much, if you're such great Americans, I've posted that video for you. I've played that video. Ilhan Omar brought the Somali president to American soil in Minnesota and called him their president. Not America. They called Minnesota Somalia, and they said the Somalian president was their president, not Donald Trump and not the American president. So fuck all Somalians at this point. Fuck you all. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why. Fuck you all. It gets even worse. So, do you understand what FGM is? Do you understand what that is? Female genital mutilation. So, in Somalia, women are not allowed to feel pleasure because you might cheat on your husband if you can feel pleasure. So, one small town, one little place that has like 100 people in it, banned female genital mutilation in 2023, and that hasn't gone too well for them. But let's get into it. While promising progress has been made in Glamdug province, where all forms of FGM were outlawed in February. Oh, it was in 24, not even 23 like I thought, 24. And in Jubaland, it literally sounds like you just put some peanut butter in your mouth and made up the names of your fucking communities. Jubaland, which approved a zero tolerance for FGM bill, is April 2025. Oh, it hasn't gone into effect yet. Harmful practices remain widespread, particularly in rural and pastoralist communities. Long-standing social cultural norms are practices driving pushback. So, cultural and religious beliefs play a central role in the preparation of child marriage and FGM in Somalia. Okay? Social norms and traditions. FGM is widely seen as a rite of passage, significantly as girls transition to womanhood, meaning a girl's 11 years old and she hits her fucking period, she's now allowed to be fucked by a man, a grown-ass man, and they cut her clitoris off so she can never feel pleasure, so she'll never cheat on that man and she'll be with them forever. That's fucking insane. You people are taking up for this on the left. You're taking up for these fucking people. And it's going to explain right here that even if you bring them to America, it's not going to change it. This is coming from all of the studies they've done on the Somali culture since we've known its existence. Okay, this is coming from UNICEF. Social norms and traditions. Communities view it as essential for preserving family honor, with uncut girls often stigmatized or excluded from social and cultural activities. This stuff sickens me. This is what you think is good. This stuff sickens me. Similar child marriage is perceived as a way to safeguard family honor and prevent out-of-wedlock pregnancies, which are heavily stigmatized in Somali society. Yeah, because you fuck your brothers and you fuck your cousins. It's fucking weird. It's crazy. It's holy fuck. You look like fish. All of you look like human-fish hybrids because your eyes are on the side of your fucking head, and then you got some Fraggle Rock little fucking tufts of hair up here going all around when you're walking. It's weird. You people just look weird. You act weird. You know? You gotta be nice to them. No, I really don't. They're fucking inbred fucking weirdos that like to fuck little kids. I don't have to be nice to them. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. However, a culture of silence often surrounds these practices, limiting open dialogue, even in spaces where they are normalized. For instance, one key informant noted, typically discussions around FGM and child marriage are not common. In wedding settings, women may briefly mention FGM, but it's not often talked about in depth. For example, girls who underwent FGM used to feel fearful on their wedding day. Their silence reinforces the continuation of harmful practices by preventing communities' wide reflection or dissent. Religious influence is a large key for the Somalis. If you're of Islam, okay, religious leaders, particularly from conservative groups, continue to advocate for FGM, framing it as a sunnah, a religious obligation in their interpretation of the Safi Islam. They differentiate FMJ from female circumcision, framing FGM as a pharaonic version of a practice and circumcision of the type 1 FGM. They just call it female circumcision over there. That's why it's not called FGM. Preaching that female circumcision is a necessary act of purification, ensuring a girl's moral integrity and aligning with Islamic teachings. The interpretation reinforces the practice in rural areas where these leaders hold significant authority. Child marriage is also justified on religious grounds, no matter if it's banned or not. In Somalia, on religious grounds, child marriage is also justified on religious grounds, with some leaders officiating underage marriages. The realization, the rationalization, this by sorry, I'm very thirsty. They rationalize this by confusing the age of majority defined in the provisional constitution as 18, which they don't have a constitution, with the age of maturity in Sharia law. The age of maturity in Sharia law, when a girl can fulfill religious obligations like wearing a hijab. But I thought it wasn't a religious obligation, Muslims. Religious obligations like wearing a hijab and fasting during Ramadan, further entrenching the practice. So it's required in the Islamic religion. Ladies that are Muslims, wanting to be Muslims, older women, including grandmothers. Okay, this is generational pressures. Older women, including grandmothers, are often among the strongest advocates for FGM. I'm going to stop saying that. Female genital mutilation. They cut your clitoris out and they put a slit down your vagina and your labia so you can never feel fucking pleasure is what they do. They cut your clitoris out and then they split the nerve that lets you feel any type of pleasure towards your genitals. That's what it is. Female genital mutilation. Okay? They view the practice as integral to cultural identity and necessary for maintaining family and community traditions. Younger generations frequently face pressure to conform, even when aware of the harms associated with these practices. Opposing the practices also risks exposing them to retributive gender-based violence. Gender-based violence. Where you at, trans community? You still out here queers for Palestine? You still out here queers for Muslims? Economic and systemic barriers to stop this from happening. I've broken this down to all of the essential things that you need to know about this. Economic hardship and systemic weaknesses exacerbate the prevalence of child marriage and female genital mutilation in Somalia. Economic pressures. Child marriage is inextricably linked to conditions of low socioeconomic status and poor education. So countries don't want to do business with Somalia because of how fucked up their country is what that is in layman's retard terms, okay? Poor education because they're fucking retarded and they have an IQ of average 60 to 57. Okay? Economic hardships, pressures. It is often seen as a survival strategy. So fucking little kids is their survival strategy. You can't make this shit the fuck up, bro. Child marriage is... I'm just done, man. It is often seen as a survival strategy, particularly in impoverished communities and internally displaced persons, IDP camps. So wait a minute. So a survival strategy for your country is to fuck little kids and mutilate their genitals. That's how your country survives. Well, that's literally why your country isn't surviving. That's literally why none of us will do any business with your country. It's because you fuck your brothers and your cousins and your sisters and your moms, and you fuck little kids, and you cut their fucking clitorises out, and you split the nerve center down the middle of their labia and vagina so they can never feel pleasure from anybody in their lives. That's why nobody does business with you. So you don't need to do that to save your country. If you stop doing that, you can literally save your country. Stop fucking your family members and stop fucking little kids, and you can literally save your country. It's literally that easy. It's that easy. But you don't have the emotional impulse control to not do that. Like the video I posted today of this fucking Haitian. He simply saw my Donald Trump shirt. He was dropping my neighbor off. She's elderly. I said, hey, brother, can I give you a hand? I know she's difficult to get out of the van, and I have access to her garage so I can get her fucking wheelchair. Doesn't say a word to me except for starts cussing me the fuck out. I said, okay, whatever, dude. Me and Kara start walking off. Okay? People just can't shut the fuck up, can you? You don't know when to leave well enough alone. You don't know when to leave well enough alone. So he screams out at me as I'm literally walking the fuck away and getting away from the situation because I don't want violence. And says, oh, well, you just worship Donald Trump anyway. Fuck you. I was like, oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro. So I said, okay, I'm not going to get violent. I'm going to take a picture of his tag. He's driving for the county. He doesn't speak great English. He's clearly not from this country originally. So we're going to find out what's going on. We're going to expose some shit here. I go around, get a video of the tag, and I go to walk off again. And again, he instigates and screams at me, you just worship Trump. And I look at him and said, that's what it's all about right there for you, right? I literally came up here, shook your hand, and asked you if I can help you. And the only thing you saw was Trump derangement on my fucking shirt. This is all he saw right here on my shirt. And that's basically what my fucking answer was to him. Go fuck yourself. I told him flat out, you're fired. I'm going to get that motherfucker fired. He's not going to have a job. You don't get to physically attack people while you're driving a van full of 90-plus-year-old people around in the middle of the fucking street in America and get away with it. It's just not going to happen in my town. So we've already contacted the police immediately because he didn't drop the lady off. He pushed her down in a seat, and I've got it on video, and I turned it into the fucking cops. He pushed her down in the fucking seat, and he fucking took off with her, and you can see me in the video. I'm coming around the corner. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm going to call the cops. He's kidnapping the lady. Still hasn't brought her back. 2.5 hours later, dude still hasn't brought her back. The son will be over at 5 o'clock like he is every day. I'm going to go talk to him then. But that's kidnapping, bro. He didn't even drop the lady off. He left. He pushed her down, took off. You can see it in the video. I didn't even make it 100 feet out of my property today when I got attacked this time, just for wearing a Trump shirt. That's the peacefulness of these fucking people. They have no impulse control. They can't control their feelings. They just get violent and attack. And if you try to speak with them and be cordial with them, the nicer you are to them, the angrier they get. It's fucking hilarious. You ask them to debate you and give you some facts, and they just get violent. It's fucking hilarious. I'm reading the facts right here from the Somali culture, from UNICEF, going to Somalia. They've been over there for multiple years researching this shit. So here's where it gets into it. They bribe them as well. Dowries provide critical financial support for families struggling with poverty, drought, and displacement. Similar female genital mutilation is perceived as enhancing a girl's value in the marriage market, increasing her family's economic prospect. Let me reread that for you. Fucking a girl's life up for the rest of her life, fucking her mind up, turning her into a slave to another person, cutting her genitals out, making it to where she is a numb, mindless robot that just listens to what the man tells her to do. Practitioners of FGM may also rely on the procedure as a source of income. So not only do they force this to happen, because I just told you, FGM is perceived as enhancing a girl's value in the marriage market, increasing her family's economic prospect. If you don't know what we're talking about Somalia. These are the rules and laws of Somalia and the Somali people and what they're raised by and raised to believe, okay? They may also make money off of it. Weak legal framework and enforcement of laws in Somalia. Well, I guess you have to have law enforcement for that to happen in the first place, right? Somalia's legal framework surrounding female genital mutilation and child marriage is fragmented with inconsistencies and gaps that undermine efforts to protect girls and enforce accountability. The offenses of rape and indecency bill drafted in December 2023, that's where I got 2023 from, has not yet been passed. This permits child marriage and weakness protections against gender-based violence. Where are you at? Where are you at, transgender? Gender-based violence. Displacement and vulnerability. Over 2.6 million Somalis currently reside in IDP camps, with 80 recent living in informal settlements, which means they go to these places and they forcefully do this to these women. Where are you at, activists? These camps are often overcrowded, lack basic services, and provide limited protection, leaving women and girls especially vulnerable. If you'd like, I can. I bet you can. So, religious justification. Some religious leaders frame it as a religious obligation. They blur the line between constitutional law, which sets adulthood at 18, which the fact that anyone compares American constitutional law to any other country is retarded, because we're the only country that has a constitution like ours. We're the only country that created a document so awesome that you can all be safe in this country until the Democrats take over, right? Because they want Somalis and pedophiles to just fuck your children and kill everybody that doesn't believe what they believe. So, blur the line between constitutional law, which sets adulthood at 18, and religious interpretations of maturity. This reinforces early marriage and cutting in communities where religious authority carries major influence. General pressures. Older generations, including grandmothers, are often strong advocates. We've gone through that. Gaps in their legality. I mean, it just gets... Some regions have officially banned FGA child marriage, but they still continue the practices. So, I mean, it is what it is. They're going to say what they say with no facts or evidence ever in the back. You notice that none of these leftists, none of you ever put any facts up like we do. None of you ever show any of this stuff that we show. None of you. You never show the facts. You never show the proof. You never have any data of any of it. Okay. Let's see. Can I zoom you? Well, I can't zoom you, but here's the breakdown from the Somali Country Briefing PDF from UNICEF. And then I simply turned it into a script mode. That way it was easier to read for you. So this is directly from UNICEF. Who does? UNICEF? Yeah, so does Goodwill, and they massively take it. They don't hire them. They get paid disability. So you do understand that the majority of disabled people that work at these places don't get paid, right? And they massively take advantage of them. I have a friend that's a midget in town. I've known him for like 20 plus years. And he worked at Goodwill here for 10 years, man. And they never paid him once. He was the nicest guy in the fucking world, too, man. He was like literally the nicest guy in the world. I still see him all the time. And fucking, they didn't pay him. They took advantage of him. I called it out. I'm sorry, brother. I cost him his job. I'm sorry about that. But it wasn't a job. They weren't paying you. And now he's got a good job. He's making good money, and he gets his disability because he's a little guy, you know? Nicest guy in the world. His wife's the nicest lady in the world, but they massively take advantage of those people. We've got people that claim to be Christians down here in Florida. I'm trying to expose them right now through legal authorities, and then we'll do the stories on it. But I've infiltrated people in these churches here. They have 10 or 15 mentally incompetent, retarded people, literally just like retarded people, like actual retarded. I'm not making a thing. I'm not talking about Democrats right now or anything like that. I'm actual retarded people, and they're walking around in squalor, living in houses that are so junked up it's not even funny, with clothes with holes in them, and they're taking their disability checks and they're spending them on other stuff. It's really difficult to get this stuff exposed in the state of Florida. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. You know, it's weird. So the hardest place in the country to get a constitutional lawyer to fight people, to fight against the community, are the red states. They don't want to ruin their political standings, I guess, or if they want to run for office or something. But we do have that going on in massive, massive numbers here. I'm trying to expose the fact we drove down earlier to this place where this guy did this situation. There's no business there. So I called the county, and you get a completely different answering machine when you call the county than you do when you call the number for the Charlotte County Transit, and you get a different answering machine. The one for Charlotte County Transit actual number on the internet, I've made a video of that. We're going to post it in a little bit. Comes up in Spanish to like a cell phone type deal, and the other one comes up to the actual lady you're supposed to complain to at the county. So they got two different numbers. I don't know what's going on. I'm not saying it's an actual scam, but like I said earlier, there's $28 million missing out of the tax funds for Charlotte County right now. They were supposed to fix our beach. 6 years we haven't had a beach. Our beach has been fucked up since Hurricane Ian. It's been 6 years since our beach has been usable. And they won't let anybody on it. They tore everything down out there. They got it all gated off. And supposedly they paid this construction company $28 million of our tax funds that we put into the coffers. And the construction company hasn't worked day one. Haven't done shit. Nothing. And now the construction company is saying they haven't been paid, and the county's saying they don't know where the money is. So where's our $28 million, Charlotte County? Where the fuck is it? You know what I mean? They just arrested a bunch of judges in Florida for corruption. They just got fucking federal judges got hauled off. Fucking judicial judges got hauled off. Massive shooting in fucking Sarasota last night. 9 people dead. 5 others injured in a Sarasota gated community over here. Fucking Fort Myers yesterday. That girl got shot by her boyfriend, the black kid. Orlando yesterday, that black kid chased her to the police department and shot at her at the fucking police department. And because he was from New York, literally asked the judge if she was just going to let him out on his own reconnaissance. She's like, no, you're going to prison, bro. His face was like, what? I'm being held accountable. What? Yeah, you're going to prison for the rest of your life. You'll never get out after doing that here, bro. Realistically, though, he'll probably get 8 years. Trying to get the reality of it. He'll probably talk it down to 8 years. He'll fight it in court for 1129 or a little over 16 months. He'll get all that time served for that 16 months. If they run it concurrent or co-terrorist, you don't know how they're co-terminate or concurrent. You don't know how they're going to run it. You don't know what his previous record is. You know what I mean? Might get a mental health deal. Might get a drug court deal. Might talk it down. If it gets drug court deal, it won't do any time. You know what I mean? He'll do a year in drug court, and that's it. It's like probation for a fucking year that you have to show up to every day and get drug tested at. So the reality is the justice system punishes the lesser crimes, and the majority of the time, the pedophiles and the big time hitters fucking get away with it. It's crazy, right? That's a crazy justice system that we have. So, but the more and more you get into this stuff and you start My God, our whole country is just ran by fucking pedophiles, bro. Our whole fucking country. All these bigwigs. I gotta say, Jeff Bezos, man, I'm gonna start using Amazon. He's the only motherfucker not in the fucking Epstein files. You know what I mean? Now, there are a lot of people in the Epstein files, like Joe Rogan, that have now been exonerated. Donald Trump has now been exonerated. The FBI finally released the videos of him working for the FBI against Epstein. You're welcome. In 2000, Donald Trump's the reason that the cops even got called on Jeffrey Epstein. You're welcome. So all that bullshit, fake stuff y'all put on the internet, once again has been debunked by actual FBI video. Donald Trump was an FBI informant the whole fucking time. He literally called the police on Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell in 2000, before he was even arrested the first time in 2008, and told the police they are evil and they need to do something about it. The cop even testified. He said, "Thank you, Donald Trump. We've known about this for a long time and haven't been able to do anything about it." That in itself, to me, should be the biggest story on the planet. Not Donald Trump calling the FBI and being an informant against Jeffrey Epstein for 10 fucking years, but the fact that the police chief flat out admits that law enforcement knew these children were being fucking horribly done wrong in the state of Florida and did nothing about it the whole time until a prominent personality turned them in. Why is that not the big story? Tell me. That breaks my fucking heart. They said they knew about it for years before Donald Trump called them, and they did nothing about it. Why? That's fucking crazy. That's not the main thing everybody's latching onto. So you tell me you knew they were doing this for years, but you couldn't do anything about it because it was Jeffrey Epstein. But you still held on to that job as a cop. You didn't come out and at least make a social media post and say, "Hey, we want to expose this shit. The government won't let us. We the people, let's get this done." Man, that's the country we live in. That's the country we fucking live in. It's just getting nuttier and nuttier. All these court cases that are going, like, I'm amazed that all these these congressional court cases are happening in the same months. It's insane. We're getting so much information. Like, Tulsi Gabbard flat out 100% confirmed yesterday. Yeah, Obama is the ringleader of the Russian hoax. We have that in emails, we have it in video, and we have it in fucking writing. And now it's up. The next option on that situation is they're either who they've turned it over to. This is the last person to turn it over to. So either there's going to be a subpoena, a warrant, or something's going to happen. This is where we're going to find out if anything's actually going to happen in that situation, because this is the last hands to turn the file over to. Once Tulsi was done with it and turned over all that information, now her hands are washed of that. She's got nothing more to do with that, and it's on them if they're going to press these charges now. So if you want this to happen, Republicans, you need to bombard your senators and your local representatives and say, "Hey, we need to get a resolution to get this gone through now so we can get it dealt with in our lifetime." You know, that would be wonderful if we can get that done. Holy fuck. And what you don't understand about that is, if we do, here's why Donald Trump's so heavy on the 2020 election. If we're able to legally overturn the 2020 election, everything that happened under the Biden administration is done. It was not legal. Everybody can be arrested for that knew and was involved with that. And there's nothing like that. You could literally say all of these people were involved in this Russian collusion that they have in these FBI files, and you could literally legally shut the government down that day. That day that the evidence comes out, they will legally be able to shut, because they have the evidence that it's so entrenched by all of these people that are in the sitting government right now. Donald Trump would be then given, that's actual insurrection. That's actual insurrection. He can arrest. He can do exactly what Abraham Lincoln did. That's the fact of the matter. That's the legal recourse that 2020 election is going to create for us. And in case you don't know, I'll give you inside source facts right now, because we've all got the information on the right because we're on the same signal apps with our president and them. And y'all, we just can't release it yet. But they got way more information than you guys know about the 2020 election. And Maduro is working deals. So we're going to work a deal with Maduro, and we're going to end up letting him go because he is spilling the beans on all of you motherfuckers that were involved with the Dominion voting machines and all of the voting machines that came out of Venezuela. So We'll see. Let's see what happens. We'll see the actions, correct? We'll see what, my address is already all over the fucking internet. Everywhere. All over the internet. You guys have doxed me and doxed me and doxed me. There's no putting my address on the internet. And besides, I'm at my business address right now anyway, so it doesn't matter. It really don't matter. I'm at my little business shed right now. But, I mean, it's not like you don't know where I'm at. This is my truck, you pussies, you cowards. I know. This is who I am, you fucking cowards. Veteran, well-armed, veteran, well-armed, veteran, well-armed, Trump flag, veteran, well-armed, Trump flag, veteran, well-armed, American flag. Next one over, veteran, well-armed, all a part of our local militias. You come in this town, you're going to get shot. You come in this community, you're going to get shot out from 5 different directions. You come after me here. Every single person in my neighborhood is a part of our militia, except for the fucking illegals that have moved in. I told you. I posted the video yesterday. We have the largest civilian armies. We have the largest civilian army in America right here in Florida. Okay? People are training on a daily basis, ready for you pussies to come here and do something stupid. We've collated with our local sheriff's departments, our local police departments. We're collated with the state. We're state certified militias. And we will legally be activated when it comes down to it. We are collated with our state. We're legal militias. We've got the Oath Keepers. We've got the Proud Boys. We've got the Berserker Patriots. We've got the Berserker Militia. We've got the Minutemen. We've got, just within a 30-mile direction, in every direction in my fucking town, there's a militia, a compound somewhere. General Flynn's civilian army, 15 minutes up the road that way. The Proud Boys civilian army, 10 minutes up the road that direction. The Oath Keepers, 15 minutes up the road that direction. Do you understand? This is the wrong place for you people to do this dumb shit at. Come after me. Please come after me. You won't leave. I promise you. You'll go in the ground or you'll go in the fucking canal, one or the other. We got we got a 6-footer and an 8-footer out there right now it's been cold, so they haven't had much to eat. Come on, boy. We got hogs. We got bobcats. This is Florida, son. Way to fucking post my address. Way to fucking, so you do understand now. I just pinned your comment and screenshotted it. So now, if something does happen, you're the first person they'll investigate. I love when you people do that. 2 of you are fucking sitting in a jail cell right now for threatening to intifada me and my entire family. You got to understand, the FBI and the DOJ themselves told you on live TV, we're going through all social media comments, and if you threaten any political violence against anybody, we are going to arrest you. Donald Trump signed an executive order. You get 8 years in prison, minimum mandatory, for political threats on the internet. You don't have a constitutional right to threaten people. Anything that has to do with violence is against the Constitution. You're not allowed to. That's against the First Amendment. You're not allowed to walk into a crowded theater and tell people that it's about to blow up, so they have to run out. It's a myth that you can't walk into a crowded theater and scream, fire, fire. You're not supposed to, but it's not illegal. But you can't call for violence upon people. It's illegal. That's illegal. Threatening to kill the President of the United States, that's a federal felony. Even if you're not legally allowed to say that. You know what I mean? You can explain that that's what somebody has said, but you can't legally say that on the internet. It's a federal felony to say that you want to unalive the President of the United States. 8647 means kill the president. That's not a constitutional right to call for the death of a sitting president. You understand that, right? That's what they do in third world countries, not in civilized countries. Makes you attack. That's a constitutional right to be violent. You don't have a constitutional right to break the law. You don't have a constitutional right to impede traffic. You don't have the constitutional right to obstruct officers. You don't have the constitutional right to do any of the things you're fucking doing. So understand, when they say we're ruining their democracy, they mean it. We're ruining their communism. Okay? So in communism, You can only say what the communists want you to think, or you'll disappear. And that's what they are. They're communists. They already tell you. They call themselves comrades. They call each other comrades. They think communism's a good thing. They don't understand that the communist ideology... What the fuck's going on with my voice? They don't understand that the communist ideology is responsible for more deaths and genocide than any other ideology in the history of time. They killed more than Hitler did. You know that, right, Mal? You know that, right? 100 million motherfucking people dead in their communism. 100 million people dead in their communism. Wake up. Have a blessed day. I hope you're all safe. I'll see you for this evening's live. This was just a little bonus live today because all this stupid news coming out.